Okay, it's day 100,000,000 in the material world, and I want to talk about our original constitutional position. And every living entity, especially humans actually, are bewildered by our surroundings and by our, very material conceptions, our bodies. So when we're bewildered, we're sort of under the illusory energy of Maya, also known as the Matrix, or the world of matter, the material world. So when we're bewildered, we try to make sense of it, and we try to replace this bewilderment by seeking our true constitutional position in perverted forms. So what is our original constitutional position? Well, it is Cit Ananda, threefold. So Sat is I think is eternity. So the translation is eternity, knowledge, and bliss. That's our original constitutional position. So the first aspect is eternity, and we seek in perverted forms to be eternal through wanting to prolong our lifespan, or to live as long as possible, because our true selves were never born and will never die because we're eternal. But when we're in a material body, we just want to live as long as possible, and that's a perverted form of seeking eternality. And the second part is knowledge. We seek knowledge. We want to know. We really want to know things, and but in this material conception of life, we seek knowledge in perverted forms, or imperfect knowledge. So we'll go to school, we'll get indoctrinated into the matrix of lies, basically, and you'll grow up to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a businessman, and you'll study science or philosophy. These are all forms of knowledge we crave after, but it's not perfect knowledge. And finally, it's the bliss aspect. We're also eternally blissful in nature as well. And so when we're in this material conception, we're seeking for that bliss, but we seek it in the perverted forms of addictions, through like wine, sex, working too much, exercise, relationships of all kind, entertainment. And this is the bliss aspect in the perverted form. So once we realize that this is not who we are, we can finally say, aha, I see what's going on now. So we can drop the perverted seeking of bliss in the form of addictions. We can drop the imperfect knowledge seeking, and we can stop worrying obsessively about needing to live as long as possible whilst in this life. We shouldn't have to go through the ordeal of birth and death physically at all, because we're eternal beings. So what do? We seek for the higher knowledge, Vedic knowledge. So Vedas means wisdom or knowledge. And then there, the answers are there in the light. And if you read the Vedas, then true knowledge of the self, you kind of return back to your original position. And gradually, as you study and as you come to know the orchestrator behind the universe, which is actually a personal God, then everything comes to make a lot more sense. So that's my cue, really, without pushing anything further at this stage. But I thought it's important to relate to you these qualitative differences, you know. So returning to the self requires perfect self-knowledge, and that can only be found in returning to yourself, knowing who you are, and the only source of knowledge that's actually scientific and factual is the Vedas. You know, I've studied, philosophy and science of all kinds, and my conclusion is that the Vedas have the key to the answers of what you're looking for. And so, yeah, I'll leave it there for now. But that's essentially the message there. So, yeah, that's an introduction, let's say. So, yes, take care of yourselves, and till the next video.